idea that AI co-founder helped me to come up with, it's very solid. And thanks to using AI co-founder, I feel confident that that's the idea I want to pursue, which before I was maybe going on so many different directions. Yeah. So I am a design engineer. First, I specialized in physical product design, and then I specialized in human-computer interaction design. That means I've been working as a product designer for the last 6 years in tech companies. I started my agency 2.5 years ago, where I had different clients, and recently I quit. And now I have a job in a tech company in the real estate market.
What are you using AI co-founder for?
So I used it in the past. I didn't use it in the last year when I was trying to start a new company. The company was a platform in the real estate market, actually, which is a market that I really like. And it was called Cleo Housing. And it was a house swapping platform for small communities, so like micro communities of groups of friends that are in a specific circle. And I used the AI co-founder to kind of help me understand if that was a good idea or not, and to have like a person to share, well, an agent, I guess, to share my line of thought with it, because I was on my own.
Okay. And that was a year ago?
Yeah,
Oh,
more or less.
Okay. So how did AI co-founder help you? And like, what are the results now, a year later?
Yeah. So it really helped me specifically on the structure, because I'm quite a chaotic person in that sense, and it helped me to follow the process from 0 to 1 really well. I really liked the part where it just challenges you constantly on the idea on different levels. So first on the value proposition, then on the user personas, on the business model, on the competitors. So I already know all that process, because that's also what I do for work. But sometimes I just need someone to challenge me, especially if I'm on my own as a solo founder.
Yeah.
So I would say the result was helping me to narrow really well the idea to a point where I was very confident that that's what I wanted to build.
Okay. What did it do for you that other tools or methods don't?
I would say like there's a lot of tools out there that are solving a part of the process. Like, let's say Miro board, you can think with post-its, or even ChatGPT or Claude can help you like give feedback on some ideas. But what AI co-founder does really well is that it connects the entire process end to end. So it helps you to know where you are at, and to get direction in your process, and to not lose track. So I would say connecting the dots across the entire process from 0 to 1 until you have your solid idea to build.
Yeah. So what tools were you using before?
Well, a lot of them. So for discovery, I was using just like ChatGPT or Claude. Then for mapping my thoughts and structuring it more on a holistic level, I was using Miro or FigJam. And then for like business model mapping and all that, I was again going back to ChatGPT or so on. And then for UX UI mockups, I was doing Figma. These are just some of the tools I think I've used more, but probably these are the ones that come to my mind now.
Okay. And how was if you compare the discovery process of using GPT and the research process, how does that differ to a co-founder?
I think the level of thought and challenge is the same, so that's really good, because otherwise I would just use ChatGPT, right? The value that I think you guys bring to the table is bringing that step-by-step structure. ChatGPT, you can open a chat and just forget about it, and then it will also kind of like forget about the things you said 2 weeks ago. But with AI co-founder, the support is very consistent across every step you go through. And it's also really well trained. So like it knows well what is discovery, how do you validate an idea, how do you define experiments. Like it's trained. So it's not like just getting some random information and giving you feedback. Is actually very thorough. I worked in venture building and consulting, and I had my own company, so I followed that process many times, and I can say that actually it's really thorough. So yeah, it's almost like having a coach or like a co-founder that challenge you all the time in your laptop, which is great.
Yeah. Where are you now in your journey compared to when you started?
Yeah. So unfortunately, I didn't continue, but it was not because the idea wasn't good enough. It's because my life, personal life, just like I just decided to take a job because I wanted a bit more stability. However, I do plan to eventually build this idea again. I think this idea for me, it has never been like a multi-billion-dollar goal. It's more like I know this problem exists. I have a huge community internationally, and I know there's nothing that serves that. And I really believe in micro community services in the future, like micro niche with everything, because there's so much out there that it's better to just serve a very specific pain.
Yeah.
So I want to build it. It's just that it's not a priority right now. But the idea that AI co-founder helped me to come up with, it's very solid. And thanks to using AI co-founder, I feel confident that that's the idea I want to pursue, which before I was maybe going on so many different directions. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. So sorry that it's not like an example of someone who started and then ended up building something and now is working super well. Maybe it's a bit of a different story, but to be honest, I think it's also very nice to have this example, because I can say that it really helped me to be confident about what I want to build one day.
Yeah. How much time would you say that AI co-founder has saved you?
It's hard to say because I think now everything is just so fast with AI. Maybe before a discovery, when I was working in consulting, we would sell projects of discovery to clients for 4 months. And I would say now a discovery can be 2 weeks. So yeah, something like that.
Okay. And if you were talking to another founder who's on the fence of trying AI co-founder, what would you tell them?
I would say it's a great tool for very specific situations where perhaps you're on your own, you are at the very, very beginning of your discovery, and you have a lot to figure out still. I participated, for example, in startup programs like Antler. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah.
And I think for these kind of situations, it's amazing. Not only founders, but also perhaps teams could eventually use it too as like a coach or something. I would recommend that anyone who has an idea that they want to pursue, before getting hands-on and doing some prototype on Lovable, to use AI co-founder at least for a month or something before, because what I'm noticing now is that it's so easy to go from idea to build, that there's so many things out there that don't make any sense, that have not been validated, and there's not clear user needs or customer needs or business needs, or
Yeah.
So I would say it's a great tool to make sure you are on the right path before you start getting to the build mode. Make sure the world needs what you're building. So yeah, I think what is also great is that so many tools are focusing on building like the visual part of that idea, like the launching it kind of thing, like Figma Make, Lovable, Cloud Code, no, all these things. But too little tools are actually focused on the thinking side and on the strategic side, that it's, I think, way more important than the other part. So I love AI co-founder for that reason. Yeah, I'm a big fan. So yeah, cool to see that you're growing and you're continuing with it.